Player coming at you with my first chaotic video. Real video for anyone who doesn't fully understand the rules of chaotic. So these are a bunch of my cards. Fire, Water, Wisdom. Again, Outperform, Power 5, and Initiative Fire. So you're probably gonna go first. The Love Nender, he's amazing. I'm gonna call this my Desert Raiders deck. Ultra Rare Headmaster and Kaija. Ooh, these brand once again. Probably my favorite pull today. Elemental. This is up YouTube. Speed Player right here coming at you with another match on Trade Cards Online. What is up YouTube? Speed Player right here, and what I have is 288 packs of Secrets of Velocity Alliances Unraveled. What is up YouTube? Speed Player right here coming at you with another live chaotic deck review. I really must apologize, guys. It's been... The last time I actually filmed a video was December 28th. So this will be the first thing I'm actually filming in 2016. Which is kind of lame when February is like 2/3 over. But yeah, that's how it is. So I don't really want to bore you with any reason why I haven't made videos. I just haven't had the chance. And that's all I'm going to say about it. But I did make this deck. I made another one. I'm not sure when I'm going to film that other deck, but I just really needed to start filming something soon. So this is an air deck. It's an air wisdom deck. The base idea is not of my own design, so check the description. You'll find the deck on Trade Cards Online that inspired me to make my version of it, which I think is pretty good. So basically the combo revolves around these two things, and the way you use it doesn't necessarily have to be this way. This is just how I based it off of. So you have Barakatan the Coralsmith, who stops battle gear from being destroyed. And then you have the Mepedian Fulgurite, gives you air 10, and at the end of combat you have to destroy it. So when you put them together, you still get the air 10, but you don't have to do the destroying because of him. So you just get air 10, which is great. And that's how I've used this. And so the creature I've seen, I've equipped the two. I have two Fulgurites now. I have three actually, but it doesn't matter. So I've equipped two of my best Gimways with the Penny Fulgurites. They both have air. And so this is a Wisdom deck, and the way this works is using Gimway's Brainwash ability because of Araktab, and we'll see him in a sec. But Gimway's Brainwash ability doesn't see much light. So Outperform Wisdom 5, which is good because he has high Wisdom, and then when he deals 20 or more damage on a single attack, he gains 20 12 disciplines. The gaining 20 12 disciplines isn't super important in this deck. I mean, it's pretty good. But the main reason that I'm using him is the Outperform Wisdom 5. So basically, and so the other one has the same deal. And when you couple that with Araktab, who has attacks speed by creatures you control gain, challenge Wisdom 50, deal 10 damage. So the way this works out is, you have a bunch of air attacks. When you're dealing all that high damage because of your air 10, your stats go up really fast. And Gimway is already pretty wise. So then as soon as you pass the 50 wisdom difference between you, your Gimway, and your opponent, then attacks, so all air attacks, so you have air 10. So let's say you play an air attack. You get plus 10 damage from the Fulgurite, plus 10 damage from him, and then because you're adding a wisdom challenge, his Outperform will kick in, so that's an additional 5. That's plus 25 on all attacks, on all air attacks. And then on non-air attacks, it's just plus 15 because of the Outperform Wisdom 5 plus the 10 damage. So on your average 1 build point attack, you're dealing at least 30 damage, and that's why this deck is dealing really a lot of high damage. And so that's how that works with them. I have a Kubra for a defender. He has the Chime Shard to defend Barakatan, because Barakatan is really a crucial piece here. The Chime Shard also gives a Kubra air, so that's really good. He has 100 Wisdom and Intimidate Wisdom 30, so you're probably most likely going to be able to do that Wisdom challenge right away with him. So with the Shard, he'll instantly go to 75, which will put him at the highest. If your opponent has Fire, then he'll gain an additional 25, so he'll be at 100. And if they're an Overworlder, he'll deal an additional 10. So he's nothing to mess around with either, because he can be pretty fierce. I already showed you Barakatan. He's just got a Weightless Energy Vessel to protect him from burn, because that's what your opponent would most likely try to do. And then I have Makidane, the Fluid Master, because I really like this ability, Expend, and a lot of players take advantage of this. So you just have to expend water to gain a counter. So that means every single turn, as long as there's nothing taking away your elements, you can just keep gaining Miju counters, and so you don't have to rely on, because I don't have water attacks, so I can't use him We couldn't use a normal Fluid Morph. So you do that to gain counters casting music. It's all single cost music, and then a buy motorcycle for some additional offense. Rack Tab is in here for that, and because we need to give him away to see Brainwash as long as possible, I've also given him Elmar's Projector, so if he gets beaten, because I don't have any defender coming back all the way here, if he gets beaten, he can come back once more, and then maybe you can have a second chance. Music. So the giveaways both have one music counter each, so you can cast one music counter off them. Everything else will be cast off Makadane, or if you get additional music counters from Chime Grids or something. So I have a Deep Dirge. This is just in case you really need so if a Rack Tab dies and you couldn't use the Projector, or if he died twice, you can use Deep Dirge to turn on Giveaway's ability one last time. This would probably be near the end of the match. Or it could be useful for if you're facing a minion and your opponent isn't using their minion ability, but then you use this and then they have to use their minion ability. So this would be really good against an Akalbi deck, because then instead of taking away Recklessness, he'd give his own creatures Recklessness, or a Savell, or anything like that. So I can just go there. Now, one of the big problems with this deck is energy, so I've put in 2 Ember Flourishes, so he can cast one. He can cast one. The order of who's casting what doesn't really matter. Howl of the Wind, in case you need to gain air back. Surprising Rifts is in here, because if you face Azirium, that really doesn't help, because this deck has the potential to be dealing 30 plus on every attack, and so losing like 10-15 damage on attacks is really going to hurt. So you have this to flip it down, or any other gear you need. Like, if you have the counters to spend, then use it, because it's almost never bad. It's never a bad idea to flip down your opponent's gear. And then I have an Intimidating Melody of Mar, which actually has to be cast by Makadane because it's really music. And then your target engaged creature loses 30 to all, but I only care about losing 30 to Wisdom, because that'll help with Araktab's ability if you're in need of that. So that's the music. You don't need to use... Really, it's anything you want, because, well, he can cast Brilliant Music as well, but you could just run 6 of any generic music you want. Like, these are all pretty basic. Like, one Ultra, you don't even need this. You could just run another Howl of the Wind. As like, I just recommend, you know, having some air boosting, some healing, and then really whatever else you want. The music deck isn't that important, because you will see why. So I'm running a Dranicus Threshold because I don't have any really activated abilities that I use aside from the expend, but me gaining a music counter is less important than stopping whatever nasty things my opponent will most likely have. So as soon as this pops up, nobody can play anything. The only things that can be used are innate and triggered abilities. So no casting music, no spending counters to heal, no expending fire to deal damage, no nothing. Sadly, I only have one. I've used Smith and Mirage just for a bit of control, and if this happens to come up and you still have your Biomotorcycle, you could use it for range and Swift too, and then just some board control depending on where you lay it down. One thing that's really good is Sands of the Unseen. It's good for 2 reasons. A, the obvious advantage of my fighters having air and getting additional strike 10. B, if I'm facing an invisibility deck and I engage, then because both creatures will have... Okay, assuming that your opponent also has air, say, if you face them a Petty and Strike deck with this, then everyone's ability gets cancelled. Everyone's invisibility gets cancelled, whoops, because if 2 creatures have invisibility, then no one has invisibility, and if you don't believe me, there's a rule you can check out. Kiru City, again, because their energy isn't that high, only 60 and 65 for the gameways, so they need a bit more, so plus 10, and then the Wisdom Initiative is nice. Runic Grove, 5 out of your 6 musics are generic, so this isn't really going to be a problem for you, but almost all decks run Tribal, so this will be a problem for your opponent. And lastly, because this is a Wisdom deck, 2 Overworld Libraries to give you an additional Upperform Wisdom 5. So if you have this, if this is your active location, you're fighting with a Gimwe, you get the challenge, and you're playing an air attack, and you still have your Fulgurite, that's Upperform Wisdom 10, additional 10 damage on all attacks, additional 10 damage on all air attacks, so that's plus 30 on all air attacks, plus 20 on non-air attacks, which there are a few, and you can see that now. So Zero's first. 2 flying advantage, just an air attack, and again, because your damage is getting pumped so high, anything is really good. I'm running 1 Air Rise because most decks don't have creatures with air, and I'm willing to take that risk. Even then, it's only 1 attack doing 0 damage. Basically, everything else would do damage. A Hurricane, just for some quick damage. 2 Vapor Wipeout, because you really need some air, and again, all these things could be dealing 15-20 damage if you have the challenges. Hammer Dash, just for an air attack, and also because Gimwe's stats are getting pumped by his ability when he deals 20 or more. Really, 1 attack, if you play 1 attack before this deals 20 or more, you should be able to get all the checks on this, so then it's dealing full damage. 1 Piercing Brilliance for some wisdom, dropping your opponents. One out freeze in case you're facing a Gantrack deck or you need a Wisdom boost because you're facing another Wisdom deck. Otherwise, you could just play it for damage. Primal Smash. 2 Marksman's Prep. Works especially well because it's an air attack, so you get that 10 on the first one you play. 2 Unsanity, the only air Wisdom attacks. So that'll be 15 right there, even if you have nothing else. 2 Air Assault, obviously. 2 Mind Razor, because your Wisdom will get very high very quick, and you can deal... Outperform Wisdom 5. You can deal 45 damage with both of these, and Plasma Arrow for element damage, plus the ability doesn't hurt either. So that's everything, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Again, I apologize for the long wait if you really wanted to see a video from me. I know there's several of you that are new to the channel, so please feel free to check out all my previous videos. I'll probably link to playlists somewhere. You can watch my old Trade Cards Online matches. Really, guys, if you see more, it's not like you'll see more than one video a month from me. I have no idea when the next one will be. Maybe March break. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, click that like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Honest Player A. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, guys. Have an awesome day.